Hey everyone, Vintage Fan Collector here, and today we have the 1988 Casablanca Delta II installed in my brother's room. I've had this fan probably 6 or 7 years now, something like that. I got both this and its twin at one of the restores that no longer produces good fans, sadly. And obviously it is a 5-blade adaptable fan, but I actually couldn't find the 5th blade. I wanted to put this with 5 blades because this is the upstairs, but I legitimately couldn't find the 5th one. I'm sure it's somewhere. I just didn't really feel like looking as hard either because things are slightly disorganized still. So it is with 4 blades for now, and I might swap it to 5 on a different set, but I kind of like these blades specifically, so I'd like to find the 5th one to put on it because this is a nice finish. These are light oak, which is not a common finish I've noticed for Casablancas, at least from this time period. Maybe a little bit later they were more popular, but in this era, not so much. So, it's pretty standard equipment. We have a K4 light kit, the ring style, and craft-made shades from my Max Air, the one that used to be in the laundry room at my last house. I think it looks pretty good together. So there's the light, and then we'll start off the fan on low. Has pretty good bearings, flywheel's good. It's in pretty great shape overall. This is one of my nicer brass Delta IIs because some of mine are pitted or just scratched up from the way that the Habitat workers messed with them. But this was actually, despite being assembled while it was there, it didn't really get too tore up. It had a K4S on it originally, and so did the other ones. Both of them did. But I kind of like the K4 a little better. I mean, I like K4Ss, but I think it looks nicer in this setting with the K4. So that's what I put in here. This replaced the American Tradition that was up here before. I moved this from downstairs. And yeah, I like it in here. It looks good. It doesn't really move more air at all than what was here before. In fact, I think it moves a little bit less, which is expected. It has a lower blade pitch, but it still works great as always, and it's nice to have a Casa installed since I only have just this one actually right now, and then I have 3 Emersons, and then that's it for stack motor fans. Everything else is a spinner motor. But yeah, typical low speed, you know, nothing's fancy about it. Go ahead and go medium. It has a slight bearing whir now, I guess, because my brother never turns this fan off. But it ain't bad. And this being a Samsung motor, it does have operating harmonics. They start to show up on medium. I don't think the camera's going to catch it though. It may, but I kind of doubt it, honestly. It'll catch the high speed whine though. So yeah, your standard medium speed from Casa. Nothing too crazy. I like simple fans like this a lot more nowadays than the outlandish designs, because I've started to realize as I get older that honestly, I'm not going to install a lot of those crazy rare fans like a halogen star or whatever, because I don't entirely fancy the decor that comes with those fans, and I just don't feel like it would be worth bothering with. And I don't want something to, you know, mismatch either, because that would look stupid. So at this point I kind of like the pleb fans, whatever you want to call them, that are more plain, because they're more versatile. I can put them in any setting. That's just me. I think it's a better way to go for my fan collection, so I will be getting rid of a lot of the fans that I don't see myself ever using pretty soon, so I guess stay tuned for that. But anyways, here is the high-speed ramp-up whine. Yep, pretty cool. I think the camera probably caught that. The Emersons upstairs also have a very similar startup whine on high speed, however, they're not as loud. This is pretty pronounced, and it actually whines the entire time it's on high speed. Just a faint, high-pitched whine. Which is pretty awesome. My other Samsung Casablanca fans are like that too. The other Delta II like this. My 1990 Delta II, 91, 92, 93, and then I guess by 94 I think they went back to the K55s for the pull chain fans. They never had Samsung fans with IntelliTouch because they would catch fire. Evidently, these Samsung motors cannot handle a run capacitor rating of higher than 9 microfarads, which Casablanca's normal rating for their IntelliTouch fans is 10, and it's 12 on the 3-speed fans. But they just adjusted and changed the capacitor value only on the 3-speed boards for these fans, but they never changed the IntelliTouch board's capacitor rating. Probably because it cost too much to redesign that, and the IT boards this time were made overseas, or at least had a lot of overseas parts. They might have still been assembled in the United States, but the 3-speed board stuff was all made here. I don't really know why they couldn't have just had 2 different versions, but they didn't, so they kept using K55s for IntelliTouch only. And most of my fans from '88 are IntelliTouch from Casablanca. This is I might only have these 2 Delta IIs for 1988 pull chain fans, I think. I'll have to double check. I know I have an '89 Delta II as well, a couple of those. My first ever collected fan, for that matter, was a white and polished brass Delta II from '89. But I think these are the only 2 from '88, so it is cool to have some of the first year Samsung motor fans, because before this they toyed around with Astro Cent motors, which they did put in IntelliTouch fans. So actually, I think during '88 they might have been using Astro Cents still, or they just went back to K55s. I'll have to check. It's been a while since I've opened up those fans. I mean, I haven't messed with fans much lately. I'm sure you've noticed. I've been fairly inactive on this channel. I've been putting a lot more effort into my lighting channel, which for so many years I never put any effort in to begin with. And I put a lot of effort into this channel over the years, so I've kind of moved over to that a little bit more, also because I'm able to test my street light fixtures and other things easier, since I just have them mounted outside on a temporary setup. And my garage of this house has, well, I guess I've never shown it in this channel, but it's like a 13-foot ceiling. And yes, I could, in theory, have a test rig in there, but I really don't want to be up there all the time, that high up, with my ladder that does go up there, but not super steadily. I just don't feel it's worth having a test rig at this house, so I'm just going to hold out and wait until the next place. And any fan that I've sold, I don't get a video of, or I haven't filmed yet, I'm going to make a video of just by replacing a bedroom fan temporarily with said collection fan. That way I have it documented, and then it'll go off to wherever, whoever buys it. So stay tuned for that, because there will definitely be a couple of videos. I've already sold a decent amount of fans, but I'm wanting to sell more than what I've already sold. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed. As always, I'll try to do better at making videos, but I can't promise much because I've just been so busy, and this house isn't really a good house for testing fans. Now, if we owned it, that would be probably a different story, but even then, I'd have to figure something else out. Because 13, and even testing fans in here kind of sucks because of the ceiling. Although this bedroom might be better than the other bedroom. Just for those who are staying to the end, get to see this. Otherwise, whatever. The tray ceiling, or whatever you want to call it, does kind of get close to there. So I think a 3-inch downrod, 52-inch, and 50-inch fan should be okay. But in the other room, where the derby is, the box is a lot closer, so it totally wouldn't work. The fans that were in here were 42-inch huggers, which is absolutely comical because the ceiling is 10 feet. And 42 inches is also ridiculous for a room of this size. It's just appalling. So, I don't know if I'll really test very many fans here, is what I'm getting at. So you'll have to just wait until I finally get my own place or whatever happens in the next place. So sorry about that. Like I said, I'll try to get as many videos as I can, but I can't promise too much. So at least I'm making this video, right? I mean, I'm trying to film all the fans in the house at least, so that those are documented, and then anything after that, I don't know. So hope you enjoyed. Thanks again for watching, and I'll try to be around. Peace.